Okay, super early start this morning. Today being Monday, October 9th. Just super early start because of my schedule today. I got to get in my lift, so woke up a little before 5. It's now 5:30. Gonna get in my lower hypertrophy day. I'm gonna start off with some pause deadlifts just to kind of rep out some technique. Nothing crazy heavy, just focusing on building tension and pulling through. One of those things with technique for myself on deadlift, since I haven't been doing it, I need to work on that technique and just practicing the nature of a pull in a deadlift as opposed to a clean, which is what I'm used to from all the Olympic lifting. But pause deadlifts to start, and then probably a pretty similar day to last week. A lot of high rep work with dumbbells, leg presses, some banded work, and yeah, just trying to get a pump. So nice and early and off to the gym. So like I said earlier, working on my deadlifts. I'm doing a below the knee pause deadlift. And that's primarily because a weak point for me is getting around the knees, and that's also where I get a lot of pain when I'm getting into that heavier weight. So I'm putting in that extra work, time under tension at that point. Even when I tried maxing out a couple weeks ago, 315 flew from right here, but then it was super, super painful. So I'm working on that pause and getting in that control at that point. That's also a big technique difference between a deadlift pull and a clean pull, where I'm so used to pulling to my knees and my hips going back and then my hips coming forward for a clean pull and snatches. But that deadlift pull is just a little bit different, where my hips and knees are moving a little more simultaneous. It's already starting to feel more comfortable just with deadlifting 3 times in the past 10 days. I've already completed one set and it already feels better. I'll probably only work up to maybe 225 for a few sets, just focusing on technique work and then getting to my accessory stuff. Running after Jesus, got the devil pissed off. Told them they gon' know this song like it's up on TikTok. Shepherd and
All right, pretty successful lifting day. Today is day 5, ending week 2. Like I did last week, which it wasn't in my original plan to have necessarily a heavy snatch or clean and jerk session, especially with it last week doing it the day after a lower body hypertrophy day. I thought I would be more sore last week, but I went ahead and threw it in because I was feeling really good. And then I went ahead and did the same thing today. I actually did feel a little sore this morning, but after just getting loose and warming up, I felt pretty good. So I went ahead and did it and capped out with a 200-pound snatch, used straps and a belt. So I need to work on my snatch pulls. So I need to think about programming that in somewhere. Maybe I can put that on my even weeks as my deadlift session on my day 4. That may not make sense to people. I know my program in my head, but putting that in there, and then cleans capping out at 255. I don't know if I've made this jump before, but I went 185, 235, 255. And I didn't know if I would hit 255 because that was quite a jump. I didn't know if my body would adjust to that 20-pound jump, but I think what I noticed, I felt it, and then I also saw it on the video when I watched it back. I think deadlifts are already helping my cleans in the aspect of technique because I have to be more patient on my deadlift pull. And I think I also need to be more patient on my clean pull, at least that first pull from the floor to my knees, building more tension in the bottom, because I felt really good today hitting that. But that's my Olympic lifting session. I'm a little bit short on time right now, so I'm gonna try to get in my upper body accessory work later today and break those up. We'll see if I might have to move some training around and get in my lower strength day tomorrow, which is Wednesday. Usually I've been doing it on a Thursday, but we're leaving Thursday for football. Taking a big trip all the way to Catalina Island. So a lot of prep has gone into that, but I won't be able to work out for a few days. So I'm gonna try to get my lower body day in tomorrow and my upper body day in Thursday early morning before we leave. I would like to get my 2 heavy days in before. I probably won't train again until Sunday or Monday of next week after that. So yeah, training's going pretty well. I definitely got some video editing and things like that to update with training and all that. But so far so good. Getting some pretty good success on this program. Deadlifts are really starting to come along, and it feels really good. Still need to address some strength work, so yeah, just progressing in that way. But as far as technique goes, and I keep talking about it, almost feels a little bit repetitive in my own head, but just dialing in that technique and even if you see from that video, and I used to do this in college when I went through a deadlift program, was kind of initiating 2 or 3 pulls before I actually lift that bar, but just building tension and getting used to lifting that bar. But I think that's one of the big technique problems that I've had in the past, is expecting that weight to just fly up and not building enough tension at the bottom. And that's, I think, a huge cue for anybody else that's struggling with deadlift, or even if you're maybe reaching a plateau or you're trying to just increase your deadlift in general, but having a huge focus on building as much tension as you can in the bottom, getting a good brace, driving your feet into the floor, thinking about like a leg press, instead of picking up that bar, pushing the floor away from you. But yeah, it's feeling really, really, really good. Hamstrings feel great, not really any pain, but I'm still gonna keep myself from pushing too much. I'm gonna stay at 275. Last time I deadlifted, I think I only got up to like 240, 250. But I was kind of felt like I was starting over at the time, and just seeing what I could get, make sure I'm just slowly accumulating volume on my hamstrings and not going too hard too quickly and aggravate anything or re-injure myself or whatever, but just slowly accumulating volume. So 275 is feeling pretty good. I got one more set and then on to the rest of my leg day.